Hey guys, Chris here. Let's talk about the upcoming Final Fantasy Tactics banners, and I know, big surprise, but it is of course the big news this week, so we do need to talk about it here on the eve of the event launching. So for this video, let's talk about which unit you should go for. Of course, you might already have an idea of which unit you want, or you might have nostalgia for a certain unit like Agrias or Delita, but for free-to-play or light spenders, you might be looking to just get the unit that will be best for your account. So this video should help clear a few of those things up. As always, pull out your Excalibur and hit for 999 damage on that thumbs up and subscribe buttons below for more War of the Visions content. The first thing we need to talk about that might determine an awful lot about which unit you should go for is the amount of Vizor that you have in the bank. We've talked about this a few times on this channel, but to pull for any brand new banner, especially limited time units, you should probably have anywhere between 30,000 and 40,000 Vizor. And if that feels like way out of reach for you at this point, we'll talk about the low budget options at the end of the video. But to max out any of these limited units during their banners, you'll need to set aside roughly 20,000 Vizor just for the shards, and then however much you need to actually pull that unit on the banner. So I usually like to set aside between 15 to 20,000 extra to try and pull the unit. Now remember, this won't ever guarantee that you get a unit. I personally spent about 16,000 on the first Final Fantasy Tactics and didn't get Orlando. So make sure that you have at least 30,000 before you even think about these banners. And if you're short on Vizor, I just made a video on how you can rummage through your couch and find about 10,000 extra. First, let's talk about Delita, and we're going to keep this as simple as possible. If you have Rain, whether or not you've started building him up, Delita is going to be your best option. And the reason for this is, Delita is really the first strong fire unit to come to the game. Actually, he's the only fire unit to come to the game outside of Elda and Rain, and not many people have invested in Elda, but one of Rain's best qualities outside of everything he does is reducing fire resistance on units and slash chaining. And of course, Delita is a very strong fire slash attacker, so he pairs up really well both in PvE and PvP content with Delita. And dare I say, at least right now and for the foreseeable future, these two provide probably the best 1-2 punch in the game. It's less of a Batman and Robin situation and more of a Batman and Superman situation, where separately they're good, but together they are... Okay, never mind, that's a really bad analogy, but you guys get the point. Bottom line is, if you have Rain, you should strongly consider making Delita your #1 priority. Now let's talk about Agrias, and overall she's going to be the best general investment from this event. And we'll talk about Old Mandu in a second. Agrias doesn't really require any specific gear or cards to be really good, because her kit utilizes status effects. She also doesn't really need any other units to be good, and can function really well as both an attacker or tank in PvP. Not only this, she's very much one of the most versatile units in the game, and a lot of players from JP have talked about how fun she is to use in pretty much any event or situation. That said, if you really want to make her shine, plan on farming up the Ice brand. For vision cards, the Moraga slash attack card is obvious, but you'll also want Vow of Love built up if you plan on running her as your tank for PvP. Agrias is sort of the obvious choice when it comes to this event for the most versatile and useful unit. The honorable mention would be Orlando, and we all know how good he is by now, but we'll be getting the release of the Coral Sword pretty soon as well, which adds lightning attack and makes Orlando even more devastating than he was before. In addition, if you are around for the first run of Final Fantasy Tactics, you should already have 80 or more shards, so it's a little more enticing to wait for his featured banner to roll around in the second part of this event. In addition, if you have the Scion of House Beowulf card, you can pull duplicates for this only on the Orlando and Ramza banners, so if you're wanting a chance to upgrade this card at all, I'd suggest the Orlando banner for this event. And now Ramza, and it's not that he's a bad unit, but he certainly isn't meta breaking, or he's not a unit that's going to define your account when you get him to level 99. He's very much a support unit that makes other units better, but he doesn't really shine on his own that much. The only two situations I would be going for Ramza over Orlando, Agrias, or Delita. One is that Ramza will be guaranteed on a step up banner, so if you're a newer player, he's a great guaranteed boost to your account. The second situation is for experienced players, so like maybe you've been around since launch or near launch. You should already have about 160 Ramja shards from the first run of the event, so if you have less Vizor, like 20,000 or so, Ramza can be the budget option from this event with the added bonus of having the chance for more Scion shards like we talked about with the Orlando banner. But overall, I personally feel he's the most underwhelming unit of the four. I have a level 99 Ramza on my casual account, and yeah, he's great, but he's not like amazing or anything. And if I were in either of these two situations that I outlined, I would probably just save my Vizor for either Idrilla or Glycila rather than the stress of trying to get a limited time unit. Okay, we gotta talk about our guy Mustadio, because unlike the UR characters that are on these banners, you only need about 10,000 to buy the shards to max out Mustadio. He's going to be your budget option for this event. So if you have, say, 18 or 20,000 in the bank right now, you could actually feasibly pull on either the Agrias or Delita banners and try and get Mustadio, and hey, bonus, you might actually pull Agrias or Delita as well. If you do pull one of those two, I'd probably just go ahead and limit break 3 them over trying to get Mustadio. But I would consider Mustadio a pretty good fallback plan. He'll be a lot like Raryu, maybe less mobility and range, but his stats and status effects on his abilities are really awesome. To really maximize Mustadio, you'll probably need a high level Ras Al Gethi and the Frederica's Dream Vision card. And in addition, he'll be even better if you already have Frederica or Lucia built up, because he doesn't actually have any abilities that buff his own missile attack or range, so he'll rely on another unit to do that for him. Ultimately, if I had less than 20,000 Vizor, I'd probably opt for this approach. I would pull on either the Agrias or Delita banner, and if you're lucky enough to pull either of them or Mustadio before going below 10k Vizor, you'll come out of the event with a really great unit, whether it's a 99 Mustard or a 79 Agrias/Delita. For me personally, I have about 34k Vizor, so I'll be pulling on the Agrias banner to hope that I get her, and if I get down to probably 18 or 20,000 Vizor without drawing her, I'll stop and wait for Orlando's banner in the second part of the event to have at least a few draws for either the Old Man or to upgrade my Scion card. Anyway, I hope this helps those of you who are sort of undecided about what to do with this event or what unit you should really go for. To recap, I think Orlando or Agrias are probably the best overall banners to pull on, but if you have Rain on your account, Delita becomes the frontrunner in my mind at least. I'll be live recording my polls on this event tomorrow, actually the first time I'll be doing that live, so be on the lookout for that video if you guys are interested to see how it goes. Best of luck to everyone for this event. Pull out your lucky Chocobo foot or your Moogle charm and hope for the best. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.